Hey, Bob here. Welcome back to the show, episode 380. Today, I'm going to be introducing you to a concept that we teach our students in our Love, Serve, Grow program, and it's what is the give to ask ratio of the content that you are creating. One of the biggest reasons that we see people struggling to get engagement, getting people to like and comment and message them is simply this. They're asking people to buy too much in their content. And so when we talk about your give to ask ratio, this is a really important thing to consider if you want to actually be successful growing a following and finding the people that you want on social media today. So we're going to break this down for you, and I'm going to give you an assignment to go take a look at your content and kind of assess how you've been doing in this area. So this idea of your give to ask ratio, it's such an important part of being successful on social media today. You know, one of the things that I see, one of the biggest reasons why I see people struggling, and we talk about this on the podcast all the time, is people are way too transactional in their approach to the content they create. And the number one thing that defines transactional content is every time you create a piece of content that has anything to do with your product or business, you're always asking people to buy. You're making the ask. You know, here's my link, or if you're ready to join my team, let me know, or here's the deal, come get the thing. And the problem with that is in 2023, if you're doing that too often, this is one of the biggest reasons why you're struggling, because people are most likely not paying attention to your content anymore. Now, back in 2020 and 2021, these were strategies that did work, but over the last year, we've seen a dramatic decrease in engagement on social media. And we've seen people that they don't want to be pitched to and sold to on social media anymore. And I think here's one of the biggest areas where we get it wrong as a profession is we've kind of taken the easy way out, because these were things that we did a couple of years ago and they were working for us, but we never evolved our approach. And this is the reason why your following isn't growing anymore. This is the reason why you're not getting likes or comments, and the reason why you're not making connections with people that you want to do business with. Here's what we teach our clients. Your give to ask ratio should be 10 to 1. So let me be clear on what that means. For every 10 pieces of content that you create that is related to your business or what you do in any way, you should have 10 posts that are not making an ask. You're not promoting your products, your business, or something else, because there are actually two different types of asks. There are direct asks and indirect asks. So a direct ask is buy my product, join my team. An indirect ask would be something like my free color match, right? So think of it as it could be some sort of a free thing, a PDF, a color match, some sort of a tool that you're promoting as a way to generate qualified leads for your business, somebody to raise their hand who is clearly interested in what you want. Even non-indirect asks apply to this. If we're promoting something too much, it will inherently lose its value. Scarcity is one of the biggest things that drives value. And so what I see, a lot of our clients, let's say that sell makeup as an example, what I'll hear is, like they do these color matches as a tool to get customers. They're like, my color matches are way down. And I'll look at their content and I'm like, yeah, because every time you do a video, you're talking about it. And it's like, it's gotten to the point where it's just falling on deaf ears. It's like white noise at this point for people. And so an ask applies to both of those things. So think about it. 10 posts where you're not making an ask, and to one where you are. Here's the counterintuitive part of this we like to say delay the ask. And so you're focusing on creating content where you're not trying to promote or sell, because even if you're making an indirect ask, people still know that there's some ulterior motive to the post. And so the value of being able to just share something on social media purely from the position of wanting to give back and serve and help, that's what transformational content is. What that does for building trust and relationships and getting people to want to pay more attention and eventually tell other people about you and your content because you just serve from such an amazing, abundant place, it's immeasurable. And so what happens is, as you begin to delay the ask, people start paying more attention. You start building the following, you start building the audience. And then when you make the ask, almost imagine it as every one of those 10 pieces of content, you're making deposits into the relational accounts of all of your followers. And it's like making the withdrawal. And some of you just keep trying to make withdrawals, but the accounts are empty because you've been doing this too much. So 10 to 1. Now, let me be clear on a couple of things. I don't just mean 10 posts. I mean 10 product or business related posts. So you might have 5 or 6 posts about just whatever. Kids went to school, vacation. Those don't count. Every 10 business posts to 1, that's the ideal give to ask ratio. So the question that we ask ourselves is, well, what do I do in the posts where I'm not promoting the thing, whether it's a direct or an indirect ask? Well, you include calls to action as a way to generate conversations. So to be clear, because I got this question the other day, a call to action is not necessarily an ask. Okay. It could be an ask if the call to action is, here's my link, go buy, or you're promoting or trying to sell something. But a call to action, when used effectively, is a really powerful marketing tool to increase the engagement, which means getting more people to comment and even message you. So in the 10 posts where you're not making an ask, you should be using calls to action. Now, the call to action needs to be really specific. Tie it to the content of the post, right? If you sell skincare and you're doing some sort of skincare tips or a tutorial, include a call to action that will essentially think of the content as starting the conversation. The call to action is inviting people to continue it with you. So maybe it's, hey, if you struggle in this area, let me know some of your best tips, or what's your favorite product, or let's have a conversation related to this specific thing, right? That's what a call to action does. Call to actions, when used right over time, will absolutely increase your engagement. And then every 10 posts, make the ask. Now, I feel like I need to say this, because when we coach people on content, there's kind of 2 different types of people that I see. There are people that make the ask way too much. That's the vast majority. There's no inherent value to their product or business related content other than just trying to promote and sell. And that's the number one reason why your social media is dead today. But I also see people that are on the other end of the spectrum, where I had a client the other day that I was doing a social media audit on. We do this for our one-on-one coaching clients in our program. And she had the opposite problem. I'm looking at her social media and I'm thinking to myself, I have no idea what you do. And I asked her, I go, what do you sell? I go, I don't know. And she told me, and I'm like, I never would have known. And I said to her, I said, you realize that's your biggest problem. She goes, what do you mean? I go, you're not talking about what you do. And she said, well, I thought you're not supposed to talk about your products or business. Well, I said, who taught you that? She goes, oh, so-and-so expert, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. That's very outdated advice. Look, when I first started creating content, 2016, 2017, that was all the rage, right? Attraction marketing, never mention what you do, like create this cloud of secrecy. And God forbid you say the company or the product, you're going to burn and you know what. And that's outdated advice. When you look at the actual data and the research and you understand the trends, here's the biggest trend right now on social media marketing. It's what's called user-generated content. I've talked about this many times here on this podcast. All of the big companies and brands, here's what they want. They want to figure out, how do we get our actual users, our customers, to be talking about our content, right? To be sharing their stories and promoting it, because the data supports this. The vast majority of people, the number one way that they want to find new products is through user-generated content. They want to find products through people they know, they like, they trust, right? That they've made connections with online or that they know online. People that are like them, that they relate to. This is the number one way people want to find out about new products. And so our profession is perfectly geared to do this, but here's where we get it wrong. Every time we even mention the product, there's always an ask tied to it. And the problem is then if that's the case, you're no longer a user, you're a salesperson. You trigger their sales resistance and people devalue the message. Look, I'm going to prove this to you right now. Imagine you see an Instagram story of a friend of yours who's at this new restaurant in your hometown, just opened up. She's posting a couple of stories about the meal. Oh my God, best meal I've ever had. You got to go to this place. You got to check it out. There's a good chance that if you were going to go out to dinner the next week, you would probably try to get a reservation at that restaurant based off of your friend's recommendation. Same scenario, let's add one little extra twist. Creates the Instagram story. Oh my God, best meal ever. You got to check this place out. And by the way, at the very end, if you do go, make sure you share my referral code so I can get compensated for your meal. Now, I want you to think about how would you perceive that promotion. Now, chances are you would immediately discount the recommendation because now you're thinking, now you might not if you know them real well, but 9 times out of 10, somebody would be like, oh, no wonder they're promoting it. They're going to get paid if I go. So like, do you see it's a simple tweak, but it is so powerful. And so if you can start doing what I'm teaching you, delay the ask. What's your give to ask ratio? Focus more on serving and helping, solving problems, sharing stories without feeling the need to always sell and promote. And here's the value is what will happen at the end of this. Here's the end result. You will get way more attention. Attention is the currency of success on social media today. It is the most precious commodity. It is the hardest thing to get today. It is the hardest thing to keep. And if you can get the attention and you can build the trust and build the relationships, and what you're really doing is you're building your brand, right? We talk so much about brand. That's all brand really is. It's just being known for something, for helping people in a specific way. And if you're doing that through your content, the byproduct of that 10 out of 10 times is you will make more sales and you will get more recruits than you ever could imagine. But it starts with you radically changing your strategy. So that's my question to you. What's your give to ask ratio? Go back and look at the last 20 posts that you've made related to your products or business and see how many times you're making an ask. Simple tweak. It'll make a lifetime of a difference for you. So if you got value out of the episode today, hey, do me a favor. Share it with somebody that you think it might be able to help. Take some time, leave a rating or review. So with that being said, as always, thank you so much for being here. I love and appreciate all of you for being a part of this community. I'll see you soon on the next episode.